Sports Podcast Show. I'm your co-host Colin. I'm here with my other co-host Andrew. We're just gonna jump straight into it. Let's start off with some NFL news. Andrew will kick us off with that.
Yes, most definitely. Most you probably saw starting the week. Tua, the whole situation with Tua, his injury, him having a quote-unquote concussion the week before, coming back playing 5 days later, then getting concussed again. Now he's out for a bit. But there's really no updates on that other than us seeing him being released. And then ESPN just released a report that NFLPA agrees to change the concussion protocol rules and urges NFL to do the same before Sunday's kickoff, which they're most definitely already taking the right precautions, but they should have allowed
The person
earlier.
who let Tua go back on the field was fired too.
Yes.
I don't know if you mentioned that. I got another piece of news right here. The Steelers have benched quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. They're going with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on the young rookie out of Pitt?
I mean, if Mitch, I want to see Money Mitch thrive, I know, but I think let your rookie shine. Your season's not looking off to a hot start. Change some things up in that team, get the rookie some reps, and maybe develop for the future.
I think he was definitely struggling a lot, Trubisky. And when Kenny Pickett was in there, it seemed like he got some offense going. I'm excited to see what this offense looks like in a couple weeks with a little bit. Maybe this is the hump that it needs to get over. I mean, they got a tough slate ahead of them. Don't get me wrong. They got one of the toughest schedules up ahead of them, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that anyone really does. So I'm just excited to see Kenny Pickett grow and develop in the offense. I'm sure Mike Tomlin will have a set of plans around him. He's a smart enough coach to do that. But yeah, excited to see Kenny Pickett play this year and maybe Rookie of the Year. I don't know.
We'll have to
right
see what
now,
happens.
no. But the Broncos, Javonte Williams suffered a significant knee injury, torn ACL. He's out for the season. Melvin Gordon filled in last night, which we'll go over the game later. But Melvin Gordon seemed to do just fine, but huge loss for the Denver Broncos and what their star running back could be.
Yep, and another couple injury reports that I have. Mac Jones' ankle is doubtful to play versus the Lions. Falcons rule out Kyle Pitts for Week 5 versus the Buccaneers, and Daniel Jones' ankle is off the Giants' injury report. He's expected to start versus the Packers in London.
Another news from last night, Broncos cornerback Ronald Darby suffered an ACL tear in last night's game and is done for the season. Their left tackle Garrett Bowles also suffered a broken leg injury and will be out for the rest of the year. Huge loss to the Denver Broncos, who are always they're struggling right now.
Yep.
And you mentioned that Landon Collins is signed with the Giants.
No, I did not, but he has.
Landon Collins signed with the Giants. He's back. He's back with New York. So let's see what they can do with bringing back old names. And you know, we have reports that OBJ might come back. Maybe bring in the whole gang back together. Get Eli off his butt and off the Eli Manning cast, and let's go sling some rock.
Yep, and then another piece of news is Patriots placed quarterback Brian Hoyer on injury reserve. So I think that means Bailey Zapp's going to get a start this week. Mac Jones is out, and so is Bailey Zapp. So not Bailey Zapp. So is Brian Hoyer. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Cole Beasley announces his retirement after coming off the practice squad and actually playing. He's out for the. He retired. So congratulations to him. Let's go into our next segment. We're gonna we're gonna try something new here. Since we're filming this episode late, the Thursday night football game aired last night. I know it wasn't a very good game, but I want to talk about these two teams that did very, very bad. What were your thoughts on the game first, Andrew? I want to get your thoughts.
Well, first off, I know it was an absolute interception fest. I mean, let's just say get the Broncos off of primetime. Get the Broncos off of Thursday night. Russ has not cooked this year. He threw 2 picks. He was 21 for 39. On the other hand, Matt Ryan was 26 for 41 with 2 picks. Just an overall very sloppy game. Russell Wilson ending the game with the deflected pass by Stephon Gilmore. So I don't know. Not many bright spots in this game for sure.
I think I'm more surprised of how many Seattle Seahawks teammates have come out, former teammates of Russell Wilson have come out and actually say how they disliked their time with Russell Wilson there. Rashad Penny came out and he said it's a lot easier to run the ball when you don't have a quarterback changing the plays all the time. That really says a lot to that locker room, and they believe they like Geno Smith more than they like Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson kind of has a little bit of an ego, and why wouldn't you have an ego? You're a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But I think they need to go back to the drawing board, and as we say, this is a new offense. This is a new head coach, all new coaching staff. Everybody's learning this offense, so Russ can't really lean on anyone to what's up. Can't lean on anyone to say if he has a question. This is a developing team. I'm not too worried about Russell Wilson. I think they'll kick it on, but will they kick it on and make the playoffs in their division? I don't know about that, but I think they'll get better as the season goes on. But yeah, I think the head coach is in the hot seat.
Yeah, really, the guy in the hot seat is Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's the whole. I
can't
don't
think
know
of
what's
his
going on.
name.
If it's all because of Russ or it's him or really everything's up in the air right now. But we'll have to see what happens to both these teams really because the Colts do have Naeem Hines is out, Jonathan Taylor is out, so they have Philip Lindsay that game and Deion Jackson. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean it was very interesting to see that happen. It was very scary to see Naheem Hines hit the ground the same way and he get up like Tua did a couple weeks ago. Glad they kept him out of the game. It stinks for him. I wish him the best of luck in his recovery. That you never want to hear somebody getting injured like that. But yeah, that going back with what they said about the Broncos offense. Is it Nathaniel Hackett? Is it Russell Wilson? I think it's kind of a combination of both. I know you can't really choose one or the other. I know last night they had a nice play where Judy was on a crosser and he went up a little bit and kind of lost in the defense. They got a big play out of that one. But if you look at the last play of the game there, where Cortland Sutton got a pass breakup to by Stephon Gilmore. That ball was never intended to be for Stephon Gilmore to have. It was never intended to Cortland Sutton. It was intended to Palmer on the right hand side. If he hit him 2 seconds earlier, it was a wide open touchdown. Russ didn't see it in time. He ended up trying to force the ball. Cortland thought it was his ball to catch, so he went up there to try to catch it. Good coverage by Stephon Gilmore, sealing the game down for the Indianapolis Colts. But this was a terrible game. I mean, both these teams struggled very much. Looked at some Pro Football Focus stats. Of course, the player grades came out for that Thursday night football game. Russell Wilson was absolutely terrible when it came 20-yard plus throws. On the outside left hand side, he was 0 for 5 in an interception. Between the numbers, he was 1 of 4 for 51 yards. And outside on the right, he had one good reception outside on the right. I think that was the one to Jerry Jeudy for 37 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty good on that. But besides that, he was struggling to hit anything past 10 yards. He was struggling a lot. Of course, they were doing decent when in between 10 yards, and they were doing decent. Very interesting how there was no throw to the right behind the line of scrimmage, like a screen pass done to the right. They were all done to the left and the middle. Very weird, but Russell Wilson didn't look too sharp last night. Both quarterbacks didn't look too sharp. As I look at Matt Ryan's, I have the same Pro Football Focus stat grade up, and he didn't throw the ball downfield at all. There was no passes outside of 20 yards. He was very good in between 10 yards. I'd say very good, and very good behind the line. But he didn't attempt any big throws, and yet he did get some interceptions. Both these quarterbacks didn't play well. I mean, you can definitely say it was the offensive line's fault too. They got to take some blame for this. But yeah, I mean, how do you think? Is this more about the offensive struggles, Andrew, or you think this is just two good defenses going together? Because
I
I think
think
it's a combination of both.
Yeah, I think this one really. I mean, both these teams are notoriously known to have good defenses, like in the past. But I think this one was mainly, if anything, more than the defense, the quarterback. These quarterbacks both threw 2 picks. As you saw, Matt Ryan's pick was obviously. I saw this one pick he threw. It was like directly at the defender, so that one was completely on Matt Ryan. Russell Wilson, I believe, had a pick like that too. So very just a sloppy day for both these teams.
Um, okay, yeah, I have some stats here. Yeah, I mean Denver, 5 sacks. They got 5 sacks, 1 hit, 14 hurries across 48 pass snap blocks. Both these offensive lines played terrible last night. The Colts is a lot more concerning, and that's the reason why you haven't seen JT when he was in the game getting as many pushes as he did. That offensive line looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the highest paid offensive lines, and yet it couldn't do anything. It's struggling. It's concerning for both these offensive lines. There was a lot of sacks that happened. Defensive highlights for the Denver Broncos. I like the shout out Browning. He had 2 sacks, 3 hits, and 5 hurries. Excellent game for him. Of course, Bradley Chubb, 3 sacks, 1 hit, 4 hurries, and Caden Sturm had interception for. He had a couple interceptions that game, so I mean he did very good. If you're looking for bright sides, you played. You didn't give up a touchdown. The defense. I mean, Denver didn't give up a touchdown on defense, so that's good. So did the other side too. So I mean, the defenses were playing good, but I really think it was the offense that did very, very bad. If you're looking at the Colts side, they've been in some close games before, and they've come out as winners. I mean, I know last week they didn't do so against the Titans, but they played some teams close, and I know they've been pretty bad, and I know they're pretty hurt with their Leonard's out. I mean, but DeForest Buckner got 2 sacks, 1 hurry. Yannick Ngakoue got 2 sacks, 1 hurry. A bright spot for this team is rookie Alec Pierce, 9 receptions. He had 9 targets for 8 receptions and 81 yards. Very good day for him. It seems like Matt Ryan really likes Alec Pierce, especially when Michael Pittman's taken a lot of the coverage away from him. So
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of worries for both these teams.
Yeah, most definitely. I think very sloppy game in general, but I don't know. I'm excited to see. I mean, this Colts team, they got a lot to work on with JT out. Now you got to develop those younger guys, and same for the Broncos. They got to turn things around quick because they're in a tough division with the Chargers and the Raiders closing in on them. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Do you want to go over a few games from last week?
You have a game out there that you want to talk about that stuck out to you?
Let's see. I think really there was one game in specific. I know we were at the Colts-Titans game. There wasn't anything special about that. I think really a couple results that stood out. Falcons beating the Browns. Oh, the Seahawks-Lions game, 48-45. Do you want to talk a bit about that game?
I mean, the Lions always score a lot of points. I mean, if their defense just showed up at least a little bit, they'd have a much better record. They've scored the most points out of any team so far, offensive wise. So I don't think that's the problem. It's a lot of the defense giving up a lot of points. It was sad to see, but I hope they turn it around because I like that Lions team a lot.
Yeah.
They have a lot of heart and passion. I like that. The Falcons get a win against the Browns. That was something I thought was pretty cool.
Jets beat the Steelers.
Jets beat Steelers, yeah. The Eagles beat the Jags. The Jags made a late push at the end there, but they couldn't get anything done. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had a kind of a little setback day, but the wind was howling. That was what I was told, and when they were playing, so I'm gonna give him a little break on that. Trevor Lawrence will beat Trevor Lawrence. Just give him some time. The game I really wanted to talk about, let me find it here. Which game was that?
Niners-Rams.
I mean, Niners-Rams. The Rams didn't look too good. I mean, the Rams didn't. It's very hard. I mean, it's not showing up as much. I mean, the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan's record against the Rams in the regular season is very good.
He's undefeated against the Rams in the regular season.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Packers-Patriots. I don't know how you let that game get so close. I don't know. The Packers let it get way too close for comfort.
Especially with
the Patriots just had a backup quarterback, and he did pretty serviceable for 10 of 15 for 99 yards and a touchdown. That's all you really need when you got Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield, both doing solid.
Yeah.
18 carries for Damian Harris, 86 yards and a touchdown. Ramondre had 14 carries, 66 yards, and I know he had a couple receptions as well. Receiving wise, the leading receiver is Nelson Aguilar with 3 receptions for 46 yards. And wait, I don't know. I gotta look at the Packers, what their stats were. I mean, Aaron Rodgers wasn't anything real special. 21 to 35 for 251. I mean, 2 touchdowns. Not special for Aaron Rodgers standards. That's what I'm saying. But Aaron Jones on 16 carries, 110 yards, have himself a day. One thing the Packers are not struggling with, that is the run game. I think they're one of the best rushing games in the league right now. They do a very good job of doing that. I think the Lions are very good, and I think the Packers are very good. Those are my two teams that I really like. Alan Lazard had 6 receptions for 116 yards here today. Romeo Doubs had 5 receptions, 47 yards and a touchdown. He had a very good day. I think these receivers are coming into their own right now. Romeo Doubs is playing a huge role. Alan Lazard is playing a huge role. Of course, they're going back to Randall Cobb as well, the old veteran. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be too worried about this team. I mean, the Packers, they definitely had a little hiccup there, and I think the Packers always have one or two hiccup games during the season. We'll see when they come to a very good offense, and let's see if they can win, because of course they played some teams that are really not have some good offenses. I mean, the Buccaneers have been struggling on offense this whole season. Uh, the Bears, no explanation needed. The Patriots had a backup quarterback, and you had Kirk Cousins in the Vikings. They lost to him, but let's see a real offense. I'm excited to see in a couple weeks. In about 4 weeks, we see the Packers go to the Bills on it looks like October 30th. So hopefully we get to see we'll get to see what the Packers are then. And I think
Yeah.
that'll really show us if they're a true contender. As of right now, I thought it was very surprising that the Patriots made it a game.
Yeah, especially with a third string quarterback they're going to have to move on with in the future. Brian Hoyer's older, so I don't think he'll come back. Maybe they'll keep Zapp as their backup. Mac Jones, when he comes back, will definitely still be the starter. But we'll have to see what goes on there. Any other games that really stood out to you?
Not really. I think we should just go into the next week's game, and if anything pops up, we can.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about the last week's game? We can go. Do you want to real quick before we go into our next game? I'm pulling up right now. Do you want to go over who won? I don't even know the total last week.
Total score was 5-4. You beat me.
I beat you 5-4.
You beat me 5-4.
I think. What were some of those key games that I beat you in?
Really,
remember.
the ones that you beat me was Chiefs Bucks, Pats Packers. I almost beat you in that.
Yeah, you
Um,
almost did. I mean, that would have been really honestly cool to see, but it didn't happen that way.
yeah, and then Ravens Bills. Those were the bigger ones you beat me on.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go into next week's slate of games, starting with the London game. Yes, we have another London game. The Green Bay Packers playing the New York Giants. Green Bay's favored in this one. Who do you like? Who do you like to win this game? Giants coming off. Saquon Barkley's the leading rusher. Who do you like in this one?
I'm gonna have to say it. I can't legally, as a Bears fan, say the Packers are gonna win. I think the Giants are gonna pull this one out in London.
I like your thought there. When you travel over to London, you never know which team you're gonna get. The Giants have been rolling. Yes, they're a 3-1 team, and they're rolling, and they're pretty good. So who knows? But I'm gonna have to go with the Packers here. I mean, it's a logical choice. They both have good run games coming into this this game. They both have very good run games. But who's the better quarterback here? It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is gonna find a way to win this thing. Even though he might be smoking on the sideline, being high the whole game, allegedly. But who knows? I think I'm gonna go with Green Bay in this one. But I could definitely see New York maybe pulling up that upset in one of those London games that
Mm-hmm.
you fly over across to another country. So it's like, who knows how you're gonna play, but Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers. Let's then go to the Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think we have to put much thought into this game. I'm gonna go Buffalo, and I'm assuming you're going Buffalo.
Yes, I will go Buffalo too. I don't think.
Buffalo. I mean, Kenny Pickett's going to get his first technical start. He wasn't the starter last game, so we'll see how he plays against a really good secondary. Of course, the Buffalo Bills are kind of injured a little bit, but who knows? I like. I think these Pittsburghs can make a run, but I don't know. They got a tough schedule ahead, and hopefully Mike Tomlin's got something. But I think
Yeah.
Buffalo is just too good. Josh Allen will have a bounce back game. He didn't have the greatest game last week, but they ended up getting the win, and that's all that matters in the end. Let's go into the next week's game. Not next week's game. Let's go into the next game. Los Angeles traveling to Cleveland. Who do you have in this matchup?
I'm gonna have to say the Chargers here.
You're gonna have to say the Chargers here. I will agree with you on that one. Keenan Allen out. Joshua Palmer is questionable. There's a couple key injuries there. Jadeveon Clowney is questionable in this game. It's in Cleveland, so the dog pound's gonna be barking. But I like the Chargers. I really do. Even though Nick Chubb's been tearing it up. I mean, he's been absolutely tearing it up. One of the best running backs in the league right now. I don't know what the Browns are. I'm not a believer in the Browns. I think they're just kind of there, and they'll steal a couple wins here or there. But I like Herbert a lot better. I think this team's on a run now, and I think they're mad that they lost a couple games here, and they I think they get it. I mean, they're 1-1 in away, and Cleveland's 1-1 at home. So I think this is a throw-up game. But I think the Chargers are going to pull this one out. Let's head to Detroit, going to New England, noon game. Who do you have in this one? This is a very interesting game.
Yeah, this could go really. I mean, both these teams have similar play styles like they have this season, but I'm gonna say Detroit in this one. I think Detroit's gonna pull it out, but maybe by a little bit, so it'll be a close game.
I want Detroit to win. I mean, I think I like Detroit a lot, and I think I'm gonna say they're gonna win. I think they're gonna put something together. Mac Jones definitely doubtful for this game, so they're gonna have to go with Bailey Zapp. I don't know if he's gonna do any good. I don't like trusting in these backup quarterbacks as much. I mean, I trust in Cooper Rush, but I'll get to that later in the segment, in another segment, because I assume we'll do hot takes after this. But yeah, I think like I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm like kind of second guessing myself, but I'm going with Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown might play. Swift is out, but Williams is in, so I'm gonna take Detroit. I know I'm taking a lot of the same ones as you, but I just can't get myself to pick any of these other teams. How about Seattle traveling to New Orleans? Probably Andy Dalton's gonna play. Who knows? I think it's Andy Dalton for this week. I'm pretty certain it's Andy Dalton. Who do you think's gonna win this one in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome?
I think this one could go either way, but I think I could potentially see the Seahawks getting this one. I want to make this one like a hot pick. This will be like my hot take, but as a pick. So I'll say the Seahawks.
I was gonna pick the Seahawks.
Okay.
I like them a lot. I like them a lot better than New Orleans right now and how they're looking. Chris Olave's been going off though. He's been doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm going with Seattle too. I was gonna go with Seattle.
Okay, then
anyway,
I'll switch.
Seattle.
I'll switch my pick to the Saints then.
Okay. You're going to the Saints. That's fine. I'm going Seattle. I like their weapons. I like Rashad Penny went off, and I think if they control the game with the run game and Rashad Penny, I think they do good. I like the Seahawks in this one. I like Geno Smith.
Yeah.
They drop 40. They can do it again.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to Miami at New York. New York coming off a win here. Do you stick with New York?
No,
you going with New York?
I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah,
I know Tua's not going to play, but Teddy, I think
Tua.
Teddy could still get it.
Tua's out. Teddy in. Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets. Give me Zach Wilson. Tyreek Hill questionable. I've heard he might not play. He might not play this game. Jalen Waddle's questionable. I think he might play, but Tyreek Hill's he just showed up on the injury list like yesterday, which is usually not good. And the coach didn't sound very like he was gonna play. So I'm gonna go with New York on this one. I think
Okay.
Garrett Wilson's gonna have something going there, and I think Elijah Moore will finally get into his rhythm. And I think they just hand the ball off to Brees Hall and Michael Carter, and I think they'll win.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
give me the Jets at home.
Let's move
Let's
on.
go into the another game. Let's go into Atlanta heading to Tampa Bay. Who do you have in this one?
I'm gonna.
Tom coming fresh off of his divorce. Does that mean revenge Tom? Are we getting revenge
I think
Tom
it's
here?
revenge
Who are you
Tom.
going with?
It's revenge
You're getting
Tom.
revenge Tom. I agree with you on this one. Hey, I love how the Falcons are playing. I love how they're playing. They're playing with so much passion. Marcus Mariota, I'm a big fan of him.
Yep.
With that being said, Kyle Pitts is out. Cordell Patterson's on IR. I know Tampa Bay's got some injuries, but I trust in Tom more than I do trust in Marcus Mariota, even though, you know, I like Mariota. But I think Tom will turn it around. I think they'll turn it around enough to win this game. Who knows for the rest of the season? They're 0-2 at home, which is very strange, but I think they'll get their first win in against Atlanta at home. Let's head into the next game. Tennessee traveling to Washington. I think this will be an interesting one. I'm going with Tennessee. What are you going with? I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, I'll have to go with Tennessee here too. I don't see anything special out of the Commanders. Really, in this game, I don't think there's any notable key injuries besides I know Traylon Burks is out. Derrick Henry's healthy. Actually, the Commanders are favored to win this one, 58% to 41%, which is actually strange. I could see that though. The Titans have been struggling, but yeah,
I
really,
think that's more because of home field advantage that they're
yeah,
favored. I think the home field's always favored. Home team, my bad.
yeah,
But I agree with you on this one. Sadly, I agree with you. I think Tennessee's got this one in the bag. As my roommate is making fun of me talking into a microphone. It's all right.
yeah.
But
Let's move on to the next one.
John Dotson's out. That's another key injury for the Washington Commanders. But I like Tennessee after their big win last week.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We get the Texans and Jaguars. Big
Texans,
key
Jags.
injuries. There's really not many. Besides Jake Jensen, the linebacker, is questionable for the Texans. Really, other than that, there's not many more big names that are out.
Give me the Jags in this one.
Yeah, I'll
The
take the Jags as
look
well.
good. They look good. I think last week was an anomaly. They're heading back. Their defense is gonna fly around. Watch Jacksonville win this one in convincing fashion, in my opinion.
Yep.
I don't think we have to spend too much time in this one. San Francisco at Carolina. Give me San Francisco.
Yep. I would agree
Hey,
on
look,
that too.
I don't know what Carolina's. I mean, hey, if Cooper Rush plays good enough this next week too, he might become Carolina's starting quarterback next year. But I don't know what Carolina's doing. It always seems like they're stuck in an infinite loop. They never can really get lucky.
hmm
It's one of those franchises just get stuck in a loop like the Bears do all the time. Jeez, I don't know about them. I'm going 49ers though.
Yep.
I like Jimmy G in this matchup. I like Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan, so I think they'll get things going. Let's go to Dallas at Los Angeles. Cooper Rush heading to the nice new stadium. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Rams in this one.
The Rams?
Yeah.
You're going with the Rams?
I can't go for the Cowgirls.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, Cooper Rush having this great season that he's having. He's having a phenomenal season. 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions on the season. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He ain't looking too good. Their rushing leaders got 34 carries, 138 yards. That's not very good. And, CD Lamb's been doing good. I know Cooper Kupp's on the other side, but CD's got some things going. I'm taking the Rams, though. There's no way I'm taking a backup quarterback like Cooper Rush. I was hyping myself up to take it, but I'm not taking it back up. It's a bounce back game. It's at home. I don't think Cooper Rush is good, and I think he could be more. I think he could be an actual good starter in the NFL, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like Dallas at this time. I like their defense, but it's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna go with the Rams though. I feel like home field advantage. That's gonna be big. Um, Even though I like Cooper Rush, it's sad, but I do. Let's go to Philadelphia. Oh, did we miss Chicago, Minnesota?
Yes, we did miss Chicago and Minnesota, but I'm
Okay,
taking
let's go back
I'm
to
taking the
Chicago,
Bears.
Minnesota.
Bear
I didn't
down, bear
realize that.
down,
Who do you have in this matchup?
bear,
Chicago heading
bear
to
down.
fall country.
I'm taking the Bears. Bear down, baby.
You're taking the Bears.
Yep,
That's
you're
an easy
taking the
win for
Vikings.
me. Give me Kirk Cousins.
End of the story.
Last time the Bears played the Vikings ended up winning it, and that was at the end of the Matt Nagy era. The Bears sadly have shown nothing on offense to prove them otherwise that they might win a game. Cody White here is on IR. Dave Montgomery's questionable. Jalen Johnson's doubtful. Beat up team, and their offense wasn't getting any better. It's been a struggle.
Yep.
I
Now
don't
moving on to the next game.
Give me the Vikings.
Yep. Eagles and Cardinals. They are traveling to Arizona, home of the Super Bowl. I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one.
You take the Eagles. I agree with you. I like the Eagles. I think Arizona's fake. I don't like how I think Kyler Murray's. I don't know. I don't like Kyler Murray in this matchup.
Although DeAndre Hopkins will be back next week, so we'll have to see where they go from there. But I'm taking the Eagles in this one.
From there, but I just like how the Eagles are playing. I think they're playing very good. I think this will be a test too. But the Eagles also have a super easy schedule.
Yeah, they do.
Super easy. So they might be a fake team.
Yeah.
Coming into things, they got a really easy schedule this year, and people are talking about that. Like, even if they barely tried, they would have got 10 wins this season. So I think they may be in later talk. It might be a fake team, but as of right now, they're undefeated. So I'm gonna roll with them too. I'm gonna roll with Philadelphia. Let's go to Cincinnati at Baltimore. That's a Sunday night football game. Who do you have in that matchup? A classic AFC North matchup.
I'm going to have to say the Ravens here. Lamar has been going off. Although I have Joey B in fantasy, but I think Lamar.
You're taking all my picks, dude. You're taking all my picks. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I like the Ravens this one. Lamar's been going off.
Yep, and then moving on to our final game, our Monday Night Football game, Raiders and Chiefs.
You pick it.
I'm taking Chiefs here. They're just red hot.
Chiefs are red hot?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think we're brewing for a Las Vegas upset. Hear me out. These Raiders team has been beaten down, and they're just trying to get by. But Hunter Renfrow might play. I mean, it's questionable. He might play. I like this Raiders team. I think they're coming in. It's a revenge game. Kansas City always loses one to Las Vegas. Always loses in one of them. I think this is a game that Kansas City loses. It's a tough environment to go into and win and beat it beat the Kansas City Chiefs at their stadium. I mean, it's very loud in there, but I think they could do it. I think they can. Josh Jacobs had a big game last week. They put over 30 points up. Remember, Kansas City did lose the Colts. I mean, that team isn't looking too good. Look what they did last night. I mean, I think this will be the Las Vegas Raiders dancing in Arrowhead and winning on Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head into our last segment. We're kind of gonna do a little bit backwards, but we're doing hot takes. Let's head into hot takes.
All right.
Do you have a hot take ready, or do you want me to just go ahead and go with one of my first? I got 3 of them.
You could go with one of yours.
First take: the Lions will make the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, even though they are 1-3. Yes, they are 1-3. They've got over 140 points scored. They just need to get the defense figured out. I believe in Matt Campbell. I believe in this team, and I believe that division is wide open, and I think they can get it done.
Yeah, the division is wide open. That division is pretty much open for anyone, but I think they can make a run, most definitely. All right, my hot take would be the Rams are going to miss the playoffs. I mean, they have had some bad losses this year, but I think the former Super Bowl champions are gonna not make the playoffs this year.
I mean that that's a hot take because that's a team coming into it that everyone thought, hey, they're going to be very good. They got Bobby Wagner back. Yes, they lost Von Miller, but they got Bobby Wagner. They got a couple pieces. Yes, they lost OBJ, but they gained Allen Robinson back. This team didn't look very good, and it hasn't looked very good. Hopefully, they can turn it around, but they just didn't look good last week. 49ers kind of beat them up. So I mean I don't think that's very. I think that's a good take right there. I like that take. Let's send into my next one. I think Cooper Rush will eventually win the starting job in Dallas. Think of what happened. Tony Romo goes down. Dak Prescott comes in. Dak Prescott eventually wins the job. Nobody really thought much of Dak Prescott. Like nobody had expectations that he was going to be the starting quarterback. I've seen this song and I've seen this played out before. This is the Cooper Rush team. I don't be surprised. Jerry Jones does not care about money. He does not care about money. He just wants to win another Super Bowl while he has time left on this earth. I I think Cooper Rush, how smart he's playing, they're playing good football. He's undefeated. Hey, if Dak comes back, he won't come back in week 5. He might come back the following week, and he stinks it up. It might be the Cooper Rush show. I'm just saying, he's looked really, really good. Each game he's played, he's gotten a lot better. He threw for 235 yards and a touchdown against the Bengals. Against the Giants, he threw 215 yards and a touchdown. Last week against the Commanders, he threw 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's looking very good. And I would not be surprised if Cooper Rush ends up winning the job at the end of the year.
Yes, most definitely. We've seen that before with Tom Brady. And speaking of Tom Brady, I'm going to go into my next hot take. I think Tom Brady's going to go demon time this year. He's going to, just because of the divorce now, he has no family problems to worry about. He's going to go insane. He's going to make the Super Bowl. He's going to win it. So we'll see what happens with Tom Brady.
Super Bowl.
He's going to win the Super Bowl.
That's a hot take. He's winning the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to write this down before. He has chose. Let me write this down right now. Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Let me write this down right now.
Cole Beasley.
I'm gonna ask you. Come Super Bowl week, Tampa Bay is playing in this game.
Okay. All right. Move on to your hot take.
Yeah, my last hot take is a really good hot take. In my opinion. Wide receiver DJ Moore will be a Kansas City Chief by the end of the trade deadline. Hear me out. There's been some reports, and there's been some talks with the Chiefs in Carolina about DJ Moore. We've seen this played out before. We've had Baker Mayfield come in and not throw to a star wide receiver, and a star wide receiver getting mad. He's going to want out. He's a very talented wide receiver. He wants out. That's a Baker Mayfield problem. And we've seen it played out before with OBJ. I like the idea if they come to a deal. DJ Moore will be a Kansas City Chief by the end of the trade deadline. I don't think he's going to last long in Carolina.
Yeah. We'll have to see where that goes, but I'm going to go into my last hot take. I think, similar to the one you said before, I think the Jags will make the playoffs. Like you said, the Lions, well, I think the Jags will make the playoffs. They're in a very terrible division. Could easily take that over and make the playoffs.
Yeah, I love the Jags. I think they're going to win the division. That's a very good. I like that because I think that's gonna happen. I love the Jags. I love Trevor Lawrence, and who knows, they can make a run. Hey, that's a team full of doubters.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone doubted Trevor Lawrence after that first year. Got praises. Doubted him after that terrible season. Doug Peterson getting fired from the Eagles. Oh. Was it Doug Peterson? Was it Carson Wentz? We found out it was Carson Wentz. He's on his revenge tour. We have a running back coming off of a season-ending injury the year before, James Robinson. Season-ending injury. He's coming back. He's proving everybody wrong. They got the backup, Travis Etienne, out of season. He's got something to prove. You got Christian Kirk, who everyone clowned him on his contract. He's got something to prove. That is a team full of guys that has something to prove. Josh Allen is trying to prove that he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and I think he is. I think that defense is very, very good, and I think they'll make it far, and I think they got a lot of chips on their shoulder, which is very, very good for a team, and I would love to see this Jags team continue in the future. But I agree with that pick, Andrew. I think it's very good.
Yeah. And Trayvon Walker's also got to prove why he's the first overall pick.
Exactly. I mean, people said he's outperforming for a project. He is a project. He's outperforming right now for his ceiling. You know, Aiden Hutchinson's very good right now in Detroit, but Trayvon Walker's doing just fine in Jacksonville.
Yes.
He's doing very good. But yeah, I like the Jags, and I think this has been an episode, right? I think this has been another episode of the Anytime Sports Podcast Show. If you like it, drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
I like those colors.